1. Discipline yourself, the foundation of Stoic action. In the great theater of life, our actions define who we are. Stoic philosophy, especially from Marcus Aurelius, teaches that true freedom lies not in reacting emotionally but in mastering our responses with clarity and reason. At the heart of this teaching is self-discipline, not as a punishment, but as a pathway to inner freedom. When life becomes chaotic and emotions cloud judgment, discipline acts like a compass, realigning us with our core values. Marcus Aurelius believed that the ability to master one's reactions was the ultimate form of liberty. This means choosing reason over instinct and aligning each action with our greater purpose. But how does one cultivate this discipline? It begins with recognizing our power. Every day offers a chance to reinforce our commitment to what is right. Manageable ways. Whether it's rising early, resisting unhealthy temptations, or choosing patience over frustration, every act of discipline becomes a thread in the fabric of our character. Seneca reminds us that personal growth often comes through struggle. The journey of self-discipline is not linear, it involves failure, reflection, and recommitment. True resilience is forged in these moments of trial, where we choose to rise again with purpose. Self-discipline, then. Behaviors and responses are within our power. Instead of fixating on external outcomes, Stoicism urges us to focus inward, to develop self-awareness. Reflect daily. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Does it serve my higher purpose? By journaling and reviewing our behaviors, we gain insight into our triggers and patterns, allowing for wiser choices moving forward. Additionally, the Stoics believed in voluntary discomfort as a means to grow stronger. Simple practices like cold showers, fasting, or difficult workouts train our minds to withstand hardship with grace. Embracing discomfort builds a foundation of resilience, preparing us for life's greater challenges. Clarifying our goals also supports discipline. When we understand what truly matters, we become less distracted by fleeting pleasures. Break long-term goals into smaller tasks and monitor your progress. Adapt as needed. Patience and persistence, two hallmarks of Stoic discipline, help us endure setbacks and remain committed to the path. Ultimately, to discipline yourself is to practice control, embrace discomfort, remain mindful, and move forward with intention. Stop procrastinating and being lazy, take back your time. Procrastination and laziness are not just minor flaws, they're barriers to personal growth and virtue. We trade our highest potential for fleeting comfort and let our goals fade into the background. Stoicism offers a clear remedy. At its core is the understanding that the present moment is all we truly own. Marcus Aurelius advised us to live each day as if it were our last, not out of fear, but with urgency and purpose. Time waits for no one, and when we hesitate, we surrender the most valuable thing we have, the chance to live in alignment with our principles. Epictetus emphasized that we are responsible for our actions. Laziness and delay aren't random habits, they're decisions, choices to step away from who we could become. He called us to rise above these patterns and act in accordance with our nature as rational, purposeful beings. To put it simply, we are what we repeatedly do. And inaction shapes us just as powerfully as action does. To overcome procrastination, we must embrace discomfort and act with mindfulness. When the urge to delay arises, meet it with awareness. Remind yourself, this task is an opportunity to grow. Even small tasks, done with full attention, reinforce discipline and build momentum. Seneca warned that while we fiercely protect our property, we allow our time to be stolen without protest. He saw procrastination as a thief, quietly draining the hours of our lives. The Stoic solution is to live each day with order and intention. Temptations pulling you away from a life of meaning. Ultimately, breaking free from procrastination isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming present. Every time you resist delay and take purposeful action, you reclaim your time and step closer to the person you were meant to be. Through Stoic discipline, mindful effort, Good habits are the seeds that grow into a life of virtue. The Stoics believed that who we become is not determined by grand gestures or fleeting inspiration, but by the small, consistent choices we make every day. Habits, in their view, are not just actions, they are expressions of our values and the building blocks of our character. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that excellence is not a one-time act but a habit. This insight captures a powerful truth: the life we want is shaped by what we do regularly, not occasionally. If we wish to live with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the four core Stoic virtues, we must build habits that reinforce those ideals. So, what does this look like in practice? It starts with awareness. Identify the values that matter most to you. Is it self-control? Then develop habits around mindful eating, digital discipline, or daily reflection. Is it courage? Start by taking small risks that push you outside your comfort zone. Tie each habit to a virtue so that your behavior becomes a mirror of your deepest beliefs. Start small. Consistency matters more than intensity. 5 minutes of journaling each day is more powerful than writing for an hour once a week and then stopping. This principle, small, steady effort, was echoed by Epictetus, who reminded us that the path to virtue is one of progress, not perfection. What matters is showing up, again and again, especially when motivation fades. Use cues and triggers to your advantage. Link new habits to existing routines. Want to practice gratitude? Do it after brushing your teeth. Want to meditate? Tie it to your morning coffee. These tiny anchors make new behaviors feel natural over time. Track your progress. Whether through a notebook or an app, seeing your consistency builds confidence. Reflect weekly on how your habits are affecting your mood, focus, and sense of purpose. And don't be discouraged by setbacks. Stoicism teaches us that falling is part of the process. Each moment is a chance to practice virtue, or to drift away from it. That's why good habits are more than personal routines. They're how we honor our potential. Forming good habits takes patience, determination, and compassion toward ourselves. There will be missed days and moments of frustration, but that's not failure, it's life. The Stoic response is to return, calmly and persistently, to the path. In the end, good habits shape our character the same way drops of water shape stone. Slowly, powerfully, permanently. By choosing actions aligned with our values and repeating them with intention, we don't just live better, we become better. 4. Turn challenges into opportunities, strength through adversity. Life is a journey filled with trials. Some people shrink in the face of hardship, while others rise, shaped by the struggle. Stoicism teaches us that adversity is not something to avoid, it's a powerful teacher, revealing who we are and helping us grow into who we're meant to be. Epictetus. Seneca once wrote that difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body. Challenges are not enemies, they are exercises for the soul. When life tests us, it is presenting a chance to practice patience, develop resilience, and strengthen our inner character. This mindset begins with perception. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means we can choose to see each setback not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone towards something greater. The very thing we wish hadn't happened might contain the seed of our next breakthrough. When facing difficulty, pause. Ask yourself, what can this teach me? How can I grow from this? Instead of reacting with frustration or fear, respond with reflection and intention. Use the Stoic principle of control, focus on your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. These are always within your power. Another key lesson from Stoicism is acceptance, not as surrender, but as a form of strength. Accepting reality allows us to stop resisting and start adapting. We waste less energy fighting the unchangeable and instead channel our energy into what we can improve. This shift from resistance to response is where transformation begins. Challenges stop being interruptions and become part of the path. When others see us endure with grace and purpose, we inspire them too. Begin with small steps, the Stoic path to sustainable progress. In the pursuit of any meaningful change, we often feel overwhelmed by the size of our goals. Whether it's building a better life. The founder of Stoicism, Zeno of Citium, didn't start with a master plan. His journey began with a simple visit to a bookstore, where reading the works of Socrates changed his life. That modest decision, seemingly insignificant at the time, laid the foundation for one of history's most enduring philosophies. His story reminds us that great change often starts small. This Stoic insight is deeply practical. You don't need to see the entire path to take the first step. In fact, trying to see too far ahead can paralyze us. Focusing on the small, actionable steps right in front of us grounds us in the present, where real change happens. One step leads to the next, and momentum builds. When we commit to small steps, we engage with the Stoic virtue of progress over perfection. Epictetus emphasized this repeatedly. Becoming virtuous is not about immediate transformation but about consistent effort. Maybe it's waking up 10 minutes earlier, putting your phone away during dinner, or writing a single line in a journal. These may seem insignificant, but over time, they become habits, and habits become character. Starting small also helps us overcome procrastination and fear. Big goals can feel intimidating. Another benefit of small steps is their adaptability. Life changes. Plans fail. But if you're used to making small adjustments, you can stay flexible and committed even when things don't go perfectly. Stoicism isn't about rigid control, it's about resilient consistency. There's also humility in small beginnings. When we start small, we admit we don't have all the answers yet, and that's okay. What matters is effort, reflection, and a willingness to improve. Every step taken with intention reinforces the mindset of a Stoic, present, purposeful, and persistent. Ultimately, beginning with small steps is not just a productivity trick, it's a Stoic discipline. It's a mindset that honors the process over the outcome, and integrity over impression. With each small step, we train ourselves to take action without waiting for perfect conditions. So, the next time you feel stuck, remember this simple Stoic truth: the path begins wherever your foot lands. Take one small, honest step forward, and keep walking. 6. Develop your purpose through virtue, find meaning that lasts. One of life's most enduring questions is, what is my purpose? In a world full of distractions, pressures, and shifting values, it's easy to feel lost or aimless. But Stoicism offers a powerful answer. Our true purpose is found in virtue, in becoming the best version of ourselves through reason, courage, justice, and moderation. Take Cato the Younger, for example, a Roman statesman and devoted Stoic. Even in times of intense political chaos and personal risk, he stood firmly for what he believed was right. He didn't act out of pride or ambition but out of principle. His sense of purpose didn't come from titles or success, it came from a deep commitment to virtue. This is the Stoic path. Not to chase fame, wealth, or comfort, but to build a life rooted in what's morally right. When we align our actions with our values, our lives gain direction and strength. We're no longer driven by impulses or trends, we're anchored by meaning. To develop this kind of purpose, start by looking inward. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What kind of person do I want to be, regardless of what the world expects of me? Your purpose doesn't have to be flashy. It just needs to be real, authentic to your core beliefs. The Stoics taught that virtue is the highest good, and that everything else, money, reputation, even health, are secondary. That doesn't mean we ignore those things. But we don't base our identity on them. Instead, we strive to live wisely, act justly, show courage, and practice self-control. These aren't just ideals, they're actions we can practice every day. When you root your purpose in virtue, your motivation becomes stronger and more stable. You're not just working for rewards or approval, you're driven by something deeper. And when life gets tough, the Stoics never demanded perfection, they encouraged progress. Keep in mind the 4 Stoic virtues. Wisdom, think clearly and make sound decisions. These values aren't abstract, they're practical tools for shaping a life with meaning. When you live by them, your purpose reveals itself not as something you find once, but something you build every day. In the end, a purpose grounded in virtue gives you clarity, strength, and peace. It transforms ordinary moments into meaningful ones. You stop drifting, and start living with intention. As the Stoics would say, to live with virtue is to live fully. 7. Simplify your life, make space for what truly matters. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by noise, distractions, obligations, and endless possessions. We fill our calendars, overextend our budgets, and clutter our lives, all in the pursuit of more. But Stoic philosophy urges us to go the other way, to live simply, so we can live meaningfully. For the Stoics, simplicity wasn't about poverty or denial, it was about clarity. Marcus Aurelius. Simplicity begins with asking a powerful question: what is essential? Not what's trending, not what others expect, but what truly contributes to your well-being and growth. The Stoics believed that once we let go of the unnecessary, we gain space, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, to focus on what really matters. Start by simplifying your environment. Clear physical clutter so your space reflects calm, not chaos. Donate what you no longer use. Organize your surroundings to reduce stress and improve focus. As Epictetus advised, don't attach yourself to things as if they define you, because they don't. Next, simplify your time. Many of us say yes too often, out of guilt, fear, or habit. But every yes is also a no to something else. Say yes only to what aligns with your values. Build a routine that prioritizes rest, reflection, and meaningful work. Schedule time not just for doing, but for being. Digital distractions are a modern form of mental clutter. The Stoics never faced smartphones. Quiet time isn't empty, it's where insight is born. Financially, simplify your life by living within your means. Avoid debt when possible, and spend on what nourishes your values, not your ego. The Stoics taught that freedom comes not from wealth, but from needing less. When you stop chasing excess, you begin to appreciate what you already have. Mindfulness is also part of simplicity. Be present. Whether you're drinking coffee, walking outside, or speaking with a friend, be fully there. Don't dwell on the past or obsess over the future. When your space is clear, your schedule intentional, and your mind focused, your actions carry more weight. You're no longer pulled in 100 directions, you move with direction. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself. Choose clarity over chaos, depth over distraction, and purpose over pressure. By simplifying your life, you make room for wisdom, action, and peace, the core of Stoic living.